Okay, we're going to start off Module 2 with some vocabulary because we're going to use these words a lot in this module. The first word is expression. Now, an expression is anything that contains, could be variables or numbers, including operation signs like plus and minus. You see the minus sign there. So when we talk about an expression, this right here, 8p plus 2q plus 7r, that's an expression. So is just 8p. So is 7r. Those are all expressions, and they could also be, expressions contain what are something called terms. Each one of these pieces, is a term. So this problem actually has three terms. One of the terms it has is 8p. One of the terms it has is 2q, and one of the terms is 7r. Now, the last piece that we need for a vocabulary word we need to be familiar with is this idea of a coefficient. The coefficient is just the number of a variable term. So, for example, 8 is a coefficient because it's the numerical factor of 8p. It's just the number out front. Here the coefficient is a 2, and here the coefficient is a 7. So there are actually three coefficients and three terms in this expression. Let's take a look at this expression. This has terms and it has coefficients. Now, the terms are all the things that are separated by the pluses or the minuses. So one term is 18. One term is this negative 2x. Notice we're going to go ahead and keep that minus sign there. And one other term would be the negative 4y. So this is a term, this is a term, and 18 is a term. Now let's go take a look. Coefficients can be a little different than part A because this just had three variable terms. 18 is what's called a constant term. It doesn't have a letter. It doesn't have an unknown. So 18 is not a coefficient, just the negative 2 and the negative 4. So this term, this expression had three terms, but only two coefficients. Let's take a look at this last one. It has four terms. There's a 2x, a 3y, a minus 4z, and a plus 10. So you can take a moment and write those down. Those are your four terms, but it only has three coefficients. The coefficients are, I'll write the word coefficient, actually we'll abbreviate it. The coefficients are 2, 3, and negative 4. Remember that 10 is a constant term. It doesn't have a variable, so it's not a coefficient. There's no letter there. So it's just a constant. It's really important that we understand what the parts of an expression represent. Let's take a look at this. Is the next part of the lesson, which says, tickets to an amusement park cost $60 for adults and $30 for children. So that means if one adult goes, it'll cost $60. If one child goes, it will be $30. If one adult plus one child go, the grand total would be $90. It lets us know that we're going to use the variable A to be the number of adults, and then C is going to be the number of children. And it gives us an expression for the total cost, 60A plus 30C. So if I don't know how many adults are going, but I do know $60 is the cost of each one, then the total cost for adults would be 60A, just like the total cost for children to go would be 30C, $30 times however many children are going to be involved. So this expression right here has two terms. It's got one term of 60A and it's got another term of 30C. Now the coefficients are 60 and 30. Those are the numbers that are in front. The coefficients tell us what each ticket costs. Interpret the meaning. Well, 60A, it says ask about the meaning of the two terms. One of them is 60A. That's the total cost for adults. And 30C is the total cost for all the children. Okay, let's actually apply what we now know about an algebra expression and actually explain or interpret what parts mean. Now, when we interpret things, it means we're going to use a complete sentence. And let's take a look. It says, interpret the algebra expression corresponding to the given context. Let's take a look at example 1. Curtis is buying supplies for his school. He buys P packages of crayons at $1.49 each and Q packages of markers. Well, I got a couple situations going on. First of all, I'm buying some of P and I'm buying some of Q. So P stands for crayons and Q is my markers. And let's take a look. It says, what does this expression, $1.49P plus 3.49Q represent? Well, the expression represents the total cost of buying P packages of crayons and Q packages of markers. Let's talk about the first part. $1.49P just tells me the cost of all the packages of crayons I might buy. And 3.49Q represents the cost of just the markers I might buy. But together, 1.49Q or 1.49P plus 3.49Q, the expression represents the total I would spend on these items together. Let's take a look at this second scenario. They're giving us context for this expression right here. Now, I see 8P, and since I see some money, that tells me I'm paying $8 per package for something. And over here, I see $6.95, which means I'm going to pay $6.95 for something. But then I see in parentheses P plus 8. So let's go read the problem and see if we can make sense of this. Jill is buying inkjet paper and laserjet paper. So there are my two different things I'm buying. So one of them is P. And the other one, last time we had a problem, it was called Q. This time it's just P plus 8. That means I'm buying 8 more of something than I did over here. That's what this plus 8 means. She buys 8 more packages. 8, that's that plus 8 part in the parentheses. She buys 8 more packages of inkjet paper. So she's buying more inkjet paper. So this part right here is our inkjet paper, which means the other one has to be laserjet paper. And it says she buys P packages of laserjet paper. So 8P is the total cost for laserjet paper, which is apparently more expensive than the inkjet paper. Inkjet paper costs $6.95 per package. And it says, what does this expression mean? Well, this expression here, 8P plus $6.95 times P plus 8, represents the total cost I'm going to spend on all the paper I'm going to buy. It represents the cost of buying some packages of laserjet paper plus 8 more packages of inkjet paper than laserjet paper. And that is essentially what that expression stands for.